Today we are in episode 3 of our snippet series from the Flower Podcast with Scott Shepard. Earlier in 2022, I was a guest on Scott's podcast and we talked for over an hour about so many things. So I've taken a few episodes of my podcast to break some of the chat down into smaller pieces to go a bit deeper on subjects. If you missed the first 2 in the series, take a moment and go back to listen to it. We had a great time talking about all things business, flowers, and us as entrepreneurs. Of course, if you want to listen to the whole episode, I encourage you to head over to the Flower Podcast and listen in. I've listed the link in the notes. This will be the last one in the series, and there's so much more that we talked about. Today's snippet is about the 6 main activities we have in our business. Let's dive in. There are 6 main activities every business has, right? Developing the business, sales, marketing, fulfilling the product ordered, right? Your operations and administration, and your team management. And I don't care if you're a solopreneur, you've got to manage yourself, right? In your time.
That's true. Yeah.
So that's the approach I take, because where are you currently and where do you want to be? So if you're in you lost years 2 through 4 because of COVID and you're like, where did that go? So I'm like, okay, where are you currently and what's that vision look like? And then all most people see is there's a gap and I don't know how to fix it. So all I do, and I like to say it like this, like I look at that, then you see your vision as a landscape, right? There's mountains there. So what I do is I help you break it down into rocks and then break it down into stones, because you can throw stones. You can move stones really quick. So
I love that.
that's my approach. I knew I went through those main activities quickly on the podcast with Scott, and I wanted to break down the 6 areas of business a little bit more today. So if you're driving or preparing for a marathon, you may want to listen to this later when you have pen and paper handy. I truly believe that when we take big ideas, big concepts, and break them down into smaller, actionable steps, we can accomplish more. And I know you've experienced that in your own business and life too. So let's go over those areas we work on in our business again. The 6 main activities are business development, I call it biz dev, sales, marketing, product fulfillment, operations and administration, and team management. And I know they sound like really big topics. They are, when you look at them as big overarching categories. So let's break them down. First is business development. What is business development anyway? Well, it's the foundational structures of your business. And when you're just starting out, you spend a lot of time in this area. But as you start to grow, the business development side doesn't have to be revisited as often. It's just part of the normal way of doing business on a regular basis. After you put this foundation in place, you might spend maybe 20 or 25% of your time on it. However, when you're getting started, you're going to be spending probably 60 or 70% of your time in this area. So what is business development and why is it a big deal? It's the foundation of your business, and when it comes to revenue and building profit, it's the key for your success. There are 4 basics to business development: market dominating position, strategies, T, that stands for trust, expertise, and education, and policies and procedures. So let's look at market dominating position. It's what is my unique selling proposition. So what am I selling or providing that makes me unique? And how does what I offer answer the customer's pain point better than my competition? And how do I talk about it so the potential customer knows it? Okay, that is huge. And to be clear, that's big picture kind of stuff. So here's the thing. I can guarantee you, if you don't have this dialed in, you could be in real trouble. And you could be going around looking at different things and squirreling your way through business, hoping that everything's going to just come together. If you're having any kind of difficulty getting customers and new clients, This most likely is the reason why. More on this topic another episode, but I could go on for days about this stuff. The next area to work on within business development are strategies. There are strategies around every area of your business. What's your strategy around how you're going to gain leads? How are you going to close the sales? How are you going to advertise and market yourself? How are you planning to create and deliver what you sell? How are you going to handle the back end of your business? What is my strategy for growth? Is there a way I will know when a good time is to start hiring help? All of these require strategies and more kind of big picture thinking. The next part of business development is the acronym T. Now, think of a golf tee, not the tea you drink. TEE, and it stands for trust, expertise, and education. How do I build trust, show my expertise, and educate my customer? You get to deliver all three of these things in order to have a successful business. If someone doesn't know, like, or trust you, they most likely aren't going to buy from you. And if people aren't buying from you, then you don't have a business. So how can you build trust and show that you're an expert in what you're doing? And I don't care if you're just starting out or you're like, oh my gosh, Christy, I'm not an expert yet. That's okay. This is what comes as you start to figure out your why and what makes you different from everyone else that's doing what you're doing. And then how do you educate the customer, that potential client, for them to want to buy from you? Once you start building trust, showing your expertise, and educating, your business starts to really come alive for you. Those are the things that you use to build your social media strategy. This helps build out how you're going to be marketing. And then the last element of business development is your policies and procedures. It's part of your foundation of how do I want things to go? How do I want things to work? What are my expectations? What do I see? And some of this comes as you build, but certainly as you start out, there are going to be things that come up that you are expecting to do and that you want to see happen, and there's a way that you want it to be done. So getting those set up is building your foundation, and that's what makes up business development. So let's review the 4 areas of biz dev again. That's what I like to call it. You've got market dominating position, creating strategies around different areas of your business, building that trust, showing expertise and educating your customers, and setting up policies and procedures. All of these encompass business development. The next main activity in your business is sales, and after that is marketing. And the two are different, and often entrepreneurs think that if they're doing one, they're automatically doing the other one. It's not the case. How are they different? Well, an easy way to look at it would be to say that sales is all about your right now income, what you're bringing in right now. And marketing is all about future income. How are you handling bringing in sales for the future? These two main activities of business are my jam. Why? Because they are what bring in revenue and increase profit. And I love concentrating on these areas of business. And I can tell you from experience, and this is me just being gut honest with you, I concentrated on revenue so much more, and I built a 7-figure business. I did that, but I didn't concentrate on my profit. And that left me with not much to show for what I had done for 30 years. So I'm on a mission to not only show entrepreneurs how they can build revenue and get to that elusive 7-figure mark and beyond, but I'm also on a mission for you as an entrepreneur and small business owner to get the most profit that you can out of your business so that you can walk away and enjoy your life. You can walk away on a regular basis and spend time with your family, realizing that you have money on the bottom line, so that when tough times come, and guaranteed you will experience that, when those tough times come, you have enough profit coming in that you are able to still keep going. You are going to be resilient through tougher times. And you're going to have the tenacity to stick with it because you have that profit. Because when you don't have profit and you don't have revenue, you don't have a business, right? I want to jump in here and tell you about my online learning academy. I'm so excited about this. If you're wondering if there's a place where you can learn about growing your business at your own pace and get some coaching, this is the place for you. All the strategies that I talk about here on the episode each week are covered in the Online Learning Academy. You have the option to learn and implement on your own terms, and it's so affordable. And the best part? Your subscription comes with a quarterly coaching call where you join in and bring your questions to me, and I'll help you. The resources for your business are vast, yet specific, so you can take action on them. And if you want to know more, then just click the link in the notes and you can check it out. So let's talk about sales. These are the things like, how can I convert more of my leads into a sale? How can I create more transactions this year, this month, or even this week? How can I book more appointments? How can I increase my average sale? How can I get my current clients to increase the frequency of purchasing from me? How can I follow up on my sales? How can I reactivate former customers? All these areas are concentrating on the right now money, sales. Now, when you talk about marketing, that's about how do we get more leads? Where do I find leads to come to my business? What vehicles do I want to use to spread my message? And what I mean by vehicles is, are you going to use social media? Are you going to use advertising? Are you going to use print? Are you going to concentrate on building an email list? Those are the vehicles of how we get out our marketing message. So how do I want to use digital marketing to my advantage that will work for me specifically? Where are my ideal clients hanging out? How do I build referral systems? How do you go about making alliances and joint ventures with other businesses? How do I go about getting publicity and PR opportunities? These are all around the marketing activities of our business. And each one of these areas drive revenue and boost profits. Now, the next main activity in business would be product fulfillment. And when you're looking at product fulfillment, it's all about how to create and deliver your product to the customer better, smarter, faster, simpler, easier, so that you can deliver value and quality to them while bringing in better profits to your bottom line. So how do you make what you're offering? How do you create it? How do you deliver it? What does it look like? What are you doing with your time management? All of that is around product fulfillment. So on to the next main activity, operations and administration. Now, I know as a creative entrepreneur, this is not the area that you really want to be working on, but it's important. And this is the area where you can start to realize more organization can make me more profitable. How do you want to operate your business? How can you look at your business and start to see, are there things that I could cut some costs on? Are there areas that I can build better, set up better systems? I'm going to look at how I'm doing this. Is there a better or simpler way to do it? Will this bring me more money to my bottom line? Is there a way I can create an administrative strategy around this and acquire that customer? Last but not least, team management is the last main activity. This one is really important one. And I know I mentioned it earlier when I was on that episode with Scott. You may be a one-owner show right now, and you may be that person that's doing everything and wearing all of the hats, right? So how are you managing you? And how can you start to write down notes about what you do and how you do it? When, not if, you start to grow and you will grow, you can decide, okay, is this something I can give to someone else? If yes, how can I explain how and why I do this? How can I describe what I'm doing? How do I describe what's important to me about the way I do it? That's writing out your policies and procedures, coming up with a strategy on how to grow it. Do you see how it all ties back to business development, your foundation of how you do things? As you grow, these things will start to morph and you can build it into a profitable business. Now, I covered a lot of ground here today. There are so many areas that we get to work on, and that's where the possibilities are endless. So what does it look like to take your business and concentrate in one area? What would it look like if you just concentrated on the things around your sales process? What would it look like if you just concentrated on the next 3 months on the product fulfillment processes? I know that there are so many things that come up on a daily basis with running your business, and often we think we don't have time to work on our business. I don't have time for this, Christy. I'm proof that if you ignore it, they become bigger issues to handle, and sometimes business comes to a halt until you take care of it. And this happens for clients that I have as well. I don't want that to happen with you. So wouldn't it be easier to start looking at some of these areas now before they become an issue that smacks us right in the face? In a previous episode, I talked about stepping back in order to propel forward. This is the key to growing your business. There are so many great things you can do to be profitable, even when the economy might not be where we want it to be, even when we have holidays to contend with, or personal relationships that are getting in the way of our business success. I'd love for you to see the possibilities for yourself this year. You can grow and be even better than you are right now. Are you ready to make a pact to let this happen for you this year?